Hello and welcome to this tutorial on how to set up your team's workspace, how to create a team, and an overview of the team's profile. So I'm in my Microsoft Teams app and I want to create my first team. So I'm going to click on Teams, I'm going to click on Join or Create a Team, and I'm going to click on Create Team. Now I have different options. If I want to create a class, I'm going to click on Class. If I want a subject department group, I'm going to click on Staff. If I want one for extracurricular activity, I could click on this other option. So I'm going to go with Class. And I'm going to give your class a name. So I'm going to select, for example, 5th year. And you just give your 5th year computer science and you give your class a meaningful name to you, whatever that name is that makes sense to you and to the students who have that subject. So they will have the same team name as you, so it's important that you give them this, a meaningful name there. And you can give a description here if you wish. And you just click Next. In here then you're going to start adding students, and if you have any teachers to add, you click on Teachers. So I'm going to start with a couple of students just as an example. You just type in the names and they should appear for you, and you just select the students. And you get the idea very quickly here. So you just keep adding your students in here, and then if you have a teacher, for example a student teacher, or maybe you team teach a particular class, you add the teacher in there. I'm going to add Irene in here for demonstration purposes. I just select Irene O'Sullivan and I'm going to click Add. Back to my students, make sure I click Add on all of them, and then I can click Close. So now I have my class set up with some students and I have a teacher in there as well. You won't always have another teacher to put in. I'm just doing a demonstration, so I put in Irene. It might be very helpful if you have, say, for example, a student teacher that might be taking a class for you. So then you just click Close and you have your class set up. Now over here we have our icon. This is just CS. If I click on the little pencil there, I can actually give my class a nice icon if I wish, and then it just might be easier for me to identify it. So I'm going to select something computer based and I'm just going to update this. This is not necessary, this is just getting set up. You can ignore this if you choose to. I'm very visual, so I'm going to change it, and now I know that every time I see this icon it'll be for my 5th year computer science class. Here then I have these 3 dots beside the name of my team, and in there I can manage my team, I can add channels. I'll speak about channels in a moment. I can add members, so if somebody joins my class I can add them in there. If somebody leaves my team, or you can leave the team if you wish, edit the team, get a link to the team. If you want to send out a link to the team, it'll bring everybody to your team space here. And of course you have the delete option down there as well. So underneath here we have this space, which is where you're going to set up channels. And your channels basically is a way of organizing your team. So depending on whether you divide your subject up into topics, whether you divide it into chapters, strands, projects, learning tasks, whatever way you like to organize your class, you can have separate channels in here for discussions and files based on those topics. So I'm going to click here beside my 5th year computer science class name, and I'm going to click on Add a Channel. And you add your channel whatever topic you want. So I'm just going to start with strand 1, and I'm going to just give a brief description of that, just pop it in there, and the privacy settings, so it's accessible to everybody on the team, that's fine, and automatically show this channel in everyone's channel list. I'm going to tick that box so that everybody in my class can see it, and I'm going to click Add. So I'm now adding a channel. So now I have a channel here on the left hand side for strand 1. Now in here I can start adding conversations to that, so I can start telling my class hello, so for example just to send them a message. Hello and welcome to 5th here, computer science. And that message is now posted to all of the students in that group. Okay? Now, when you look here at your teams, you have all of these icons down here at the bottom. So that's just your format tab. So how you want your text to be displayed. If you want to send a message in bold, italic, underline, all of that is just how your formatting of it looks. Whether you want it numbered, bulleted, all of that is just there. Okay. If you wanted to add a file, and this is really handy way of sending a file out to your class. So you click on the paper clip, which is an attachment. So think of attaching a paper document. That's your attachment option there. And you can just click on, say, for example, upload from my computer. And I have something in my desktop that I'm going to send. Leave insert computer science strand 1. And I'm just going to open that file. And I see now that it's uploading to my class. And I can put in a note here if I want to accompany this document. Or whatever it is you want to add. If you want to add some formatting to that, you simply bold or whatever you want to do at that point. It's up to yourself. And then you must click this little send button down here. So you just pop that send button. And now that document has been sent to all of the students in my class. Just like that. Now, a really cool feature of Teams is that once that's sent, if I pop up here to the top tab, so these tabs across the top, and I click on Files, that now is part of my files for this channel. So my LeapSearch CS PowerPoint presentation is part of my files. It's also in my posts, but obviously if you're having regular conversations with your class in there, that when you're posting, you might be hard to sift through the files. They are also stored in here as well. So it's just another way of doing it. In here, you can also see that you can add a new file. You can create new documents and add them straight up here. You can upload straight to the file section. You can copy a link, download. And again, I'm not going to go through all of this today. It's just giving you a brief overview of what you're doing. So let's go back to my strand 1, and here's my conversation. So just have another look at the icons down here. So we have our text format, and we had our adding a document or attaching a document. This one here is an emoji. So if I wanted to send, for example, a thumbs up to the class, I could just literally click on the emoji there and that would send it to the whole class. So what I might expect back is a couple of replies. So if I click on this reply button here, I might expect to get a couple of thumbs up back from my class to say that they've seen that. And again, that's up to you if you want to get students to do that. I mean, it's a very handy way of a teacher to check that they're seeing the information. If you tell them to reply with a thumbs up, at least then you're aware that they have received it and you're not wondering. I also want to mention to you at this point that if you wanted to have a meeting with your team, you can just click up here and click Meet. The drop down arrow gives you the options of meet now or scheduling a meeting, and I'm going to look at that in the next tutorial. I'm going to leave it for there in this tutorial. So thank you very much for listening. I hope you found it useful. Take care.